So for example, and I'll probably end up liking it more, but right now it's just kind of weird. Let's just pull him in over here. Okay, and let's get rid of this, increase our tolerance here. We're selecting a greater range of similar pixels from the hit point, and get a selection of that, and just Control X, delete that. If we wanted to, we could essentially put them behind like a shape of a mountain there just by masking, because you don't want to. What I used to do when I was a beginner was just erase pixels, but then you learn to mask. Okay, let's erase this. No, not really a good idea, especially when it's your original layer. That's a beginner's kind of a thing. So what you want to do is, if you want him to seem like he's resting on the mountain, let's go to screen mode here, FF. If you're going to erase any pixels, what I always teach is to duplicate the layer first, but we can create a layer mask. Okay, we can create a layer mask, just do this, and we can go to our brush tool, and let's not use that eagle brush we made last month. Let's get a regular good masking brush here with a slightly soft edge. Right bracket key to enlarge, and actually what we can do is, a couple ways we can do this. Instead of guessing, we could lower the opacity so we see, or we could make a selection of this area and then do a couple things from there. But actually, why don't we just lower the opacity? Alright, and now let's take our brush with black as the foreground tool and just go ahead and hide these pixels with the mask, so it looks like he's behind the mountain. And actually we could bring his arm back if we wanted to. Let's go white is the foreground color, lower the bracket key, and we can have his arm resting there if we want. I usually don't use the Rubylith anymore, but you can if you want. Okay, where you would go Q and then you can see, but let's just go back. Okay, bring our opacity up. Okay, so it's like I was looking at this and looks like someone colored in right there, but no, that is what the JPEG itself actually looks like. So okay, all right. And of course this is a problem here, and for something like that what we can do is just kind of maybe put some new cloud cover in front of that. And if we look, we don't want these sharp edges, like almost ever. Alright, so we can just kind of carefully mask just to smooth those out, hide those pixels instead of erasing them. And what we can do is maybe tab to bring back our palettes here, go to the brush tool and find like a cloud brush, and that way we can just kind of cover things up with a high opacity. Alright, so let me go to my brushes and let's put a layer mask on here, and now maybe lower the opacity so it's not 100%. I love how the PC does that. You gotta just enjoy that. Alright, so what we're gonna do is with the same brush just use it as our masking tool. So we're just kind of hiding these pixels. Alright, and just kind of having a graying effect on here of just kind of hiding them. Alright, hold on, let me FFF get us back here. And since we're already on this, might as well add some more over here just so it's a little more consistent. And maybe switch up to use some different brushes within the same set or a similar set, just to add some extra character. And then go back to the layer mask and just mask some of those with the same brush or a different brush. Just gives it a little extra character. Okay. And why don't we just go ahead and get it that more professional look by doing some layer adjustments. Alright, once again F. Change the screen mode. Let's do global adjustment layer. Now, why don't we, let's go with curves. Levels here, you can see the lighter tonal range that's closer to white. These are the levels, so there's more of this light level within this area. So it's like a grayish white. Here this would be absolute white, this is darker. So you can see in the curves level diagram, you can see how much of the image is mostly light and what level it's at. So this level here, we can adjust that general gray, and we can make adjustments to it in the curves. And I've teach you this before in others. We can go ahead and, now this is new, I'm still getting used to it. Alright, you could say, why didn't you do your homework? Well, because I'm still teaching you design stuff, and we'll get to that, the updates and so forth. We'll get to that. Actually, we're going to have to add some more here. Some more dark. So let's get some more dark just to kind of cover that up. And let's get our brush opacity up there. And if we still have that sharp edge problem, what we can do is also just carefully mask some of that layer itself to kind of blend into the background. So we're just kind of having some of that disappear, and we can always bring some of it back as well. I love how the PC just puts that right in the middle, right there, you know. So we're not erasing pixels, we're just masking. And white brings back the original pixels of that layer. Okay, so let's change our screen mode. And actually, that's still not what we want, so let me just hide some more of those edges there. Okay, fine. And there's some really cool brush sets which have even cooler clouds and so forth. Now we can do adjustments on this layer itself. We can do some match image. Why don't we just do that? Let's go to image adjustments, match color rather. Here we go. Alright, now let's look at our source and just see how this looks like. We're going to take the color from these different images and just find something we like. Okay, that's actually pretty good. It gets it more in the tonal color range of what we're working with, and we can actually draw from this image itself. Okay, I mean, this is really just a cool technique. I mean, that's not bad itself right there. Looking for something within a similar tonal range. Just adjustments are what professionals use quite a bit. Okay, so here's that. It's a little too bright. I think I'm going to go with that other one I saw, which I don't remember. I think it was this one. Okay, that's cool now. And we can also do a global adjustment. But before we do that, let's take this a little bit further, maybe give it more of that darker effect as well. Image adjustment. Okay, match color. And I think it was this one. Okay, it's a little too intense, and obviously we see the effects of our brushes, which we can go ahead and fix, and we could actually make it more artistic purposely if we wanted to. Maybe just bring up the luminance on this. Okay. Now we could just try immediately just changing the blend modes on this layer and see what it looks like as well. So let's go with that.